almost didn't do Requiem for a Dream. My agent sent me the script, and I read it, and I called her and I said, this is the most depressing script I ever read. And she said, well, before you turn it down, look at a film called Pi. I had never heard of Pi or Darren Aronofsky, so I put it on. And in the first 4 minutes, I went, oh, okay, I get it, the guy's an artist. So I called my agent back. I said, I'll do it. Hello?
Mrs. Goldfarb? Mrs. Sarah Goldfarb?
Me speaking.
I just want to offer you a chance to be on television.
Television. Sarah Goldfarb is a lady who lives in Brooklyn, who had dreams of being somebody, dreams that were never fulfilled. And she has this idea that she's going to finally fulfill her dreams. I never thought I'd be on television. An important element of the story is Sarah wanting to be thin enough to get back into her red dress, which no longer fits. And she thinks if she gets in her red dress, she can go on TV and be part of a show. And she's going to be glamorous again. So she starts taking pills to diet. Blue in the afternoon, orange in the evening. And that becomes her pathway into hell. The last job I did before I did the film was a production of Long Day's Journey into Night, where I was playing Mary Tyrone, who is a drug addict. And Darren came to see me in that. And so I was into drugs. I was researching drugs a lot to play Mary Tyrone, and I was playing the effects of drugs every performance. So when I came to do Sarah, I had already been investigating the effects of different drugs, and I also interviewed different people. I remember talking to this one ex-heroin addict, and in the course of our conversation, she said, when you're first doing drugs, it's to get high. But after a while, it's just to not get sick. And that landed in me someplace of how it's a good thing at the beginning to get high. It feels good. And then as time goes on and the addiction goes into your bones, it becomes a living nightmare.
Take 4, Mark.
And background action.
We shot in Brooklyn. There were women around us who were like Sarah. There's a shot in the film outside the apartment building where the women are lined up in chairs, taking some sunshine and chatting with each other. And that's an actual occurrence in the neighborhood. And they were doing that while we were shooting. So we got to know them a bit, and they were very much alive in the performance.
What diet are you on?
Eggs and grapefruit.
Oh, I was on that one. Lots of luck.
Okay, cut.
Darren's mother was on the set every day, and his father. They were both professors. However, Darren's mother had a beautiful local accent, and I copied it. Sarah Goldfarb, you have something for Sarah Goldfarb? So she had the sound of those characters.
So how are you, Mrs. Goldfarb?
How am I? Enormous. That's why I'm here.
Oh, I've seen much worse.
The prosthetics were a nightmare. Not so much getting in them, but getting out of them. Because, for instance, I was wearing a rubber piece that was glued to my throat when I was the fattest. So I had like a double or triple chin. It was glued all on my chest. And when it came time to take it off, my skin had absorbed the glue, so it wouldn't come off. So then it took an hour and a half to put a chemical on it that will loosen the glue and pry it off, but it made my skin burning and red. And I wore a fat suit, which was pretty uncomfortable. But the pain becomes part of the process. All of those things, if you allow them to fertilize your imagination, act on you. So when I looked in the mirror, I didn't like what I saw. So I allowed that in. I didn't fight that. And it became part of who Sarah was.
I see you're a little overweight.
A little. I have 50 pounds I'm willing to donate.
We can take care of that. No problem.
And then I slowly started losing weight. And then we got to a part in the shooting schedule where I had 2 weeks off. And during that 2 weeks, I only ate cabbage soup every day. So I think from the beginning of the film to the end, with the help of the prosthetics and so forth, it came to a 40-pound change. It was very uncomfortable making the film, but at the same time exhilarating, because I think in any field, when you do something really difficult and you pull it off, it's very satisfying.
And action!
Acting is an art form, and so much of it is elusive. I don't always know what the pathway to the performance is. Sometimes I think it's one thing and I start out there, and then the path turns and I'm in another state. I mean, you do certain things hoping to inspire yourself. And if you're lucky, they come. And if you're skilled. But on the other hand, there's the unknown element of any artistic adventure. There's what you set out to do, and then there's what comes.
Feed me, Sarah. Feed me, Sarah.
And that's always a gift. And when that gift arrives, you are fertilized by it, if I may say that.
But you'll see how proud you are when you see your mother in a red dress, television, and golden shoes.
What is the big deal about being on television? Those pills you're taking will kill you before you ever get on, for Christ's sake.
Big deal? It's a reason to get up in the morning. It's a reason to lose weight.
The scene in the movie where Harry comes to visit me, it was a very difficult scene emotionally. And I felt that I was there with it.
What have I got, Harry? I'm lonely. I'm old.
When I said, I'm old, that was an unexpected, real response that I had. I hadn't really thought of myself as old, and I hadn't really ever experienced the fear of getting old. But when I said that, I experienced it for the first time. It was in rehearsal that I said it for the first time. And suddenly I realized, oh my God, that's real. That's in me. And so I knew that this was such a delicate thing I had just experienced that I asked Darren to shoot me first, which meant turning around and taking the set down and putting it up. He was very attentive to my process. And so he did what I asked. And it was a real moment. It was a real moment of mine and Sarah's.
Bye, son.
Darren had great enthusiasm for what I offered him. He wanted that and anything else I wanted to give. I felt like we were in it together. It's funny, it's hard to talk about the relationship between an actor and a director when they're grooving with each other. It's like a great dance partner.
Why aren't you calling me? I have to know when I'm going to be on television. I'm Sarah Goldfarb. And and you should tell me when I'm going to be on television. There's a scene in the film where Sarah goes to the TV station. Darren gave me the best piece of direction I ever got in my life. We shot this scene 4 times, and each time, Darren was happy with it. I just want to be on the show. I've waited so long. But then instead of stopping, he said, okay, we've got that. It's in the can. Now just do one more and do whatever you want. So I felt that I had been doing whatever I wanted, and I had done it 4 times, and it was good. I don't know why I have to do it again, but all right. And then something happened.
Can you walk?
I'm walking across the stage, and you should see my Harry on television. We're giving the prizes away. I just wanted to be on the show. And that 5th take is what's in the film, because what he did was he took all the obligation off it, where I didn't have to do it a certain way. I didn't have to do it the way it was in my mind. Call Seymour and tell him to meet me at the beauty parlor. I got the red dress that I wore to Harry's I just did it, and something else came through. And that, for me, became a really important lesson. You have to be open to what comes and allow that to be expressed. And that has a deeper level of truth than the one you do when you're obligated to make it right. Best direction I ever got. There were a lot of things going on that I had never experienced before. For instance, there's one scene where the camera is mounted on me.
That's good, but now I just want you to tilt down.
Tilting down.
And I'm moving, and the camera's moving with me because it's on me. It's the only time in my career that I was ever the camera mount. And then there was that scene where I was cleaning the house on speed, and it's one shot. I was cleaning the whole house, going from one room to the other as fast as I could. When you see it on film, it's even faster than what we were doing, but what we were doing was remarkably fast. It was exhausting, and I'm not sure that I could do it more than once. It's a remarkable scene. I was so impressed with the way he was handling the drugs and the quick close-ups of the pills and the fast cutting of the drugs getting faster. He used the editing process in a way that I hadn't really seen before, and I'm not sure I've seen since. I think it's important what Darren did artistically, the way it was shot, the way it was edited, the way he allowed me to give everything I had to give. I did work with a lot of directors on their early films, like Peter Bogdanovich and Bob Rafelson, Marty, because their early film is just plain their talent laid out there. It's like the raw talent. On Requiem, Darren was young and innocent and fertile and beautiful and talented and such a deep artist. And working with him, it was just a grand experience. I loved him. I still love him. When the film came out, although I was nominated for an Oscar, I don't know that enough people saw it then. It was given an NC-17 rating, which meant teenagers couldn't go see it. And that was really unfortunate because it really has a strong anti-drug message. But over the years, I know many mothers and fathers who rented the film and brought it home and sat their kids down to watch it because it had a really strong, impactful message. I find that young people are very
aware of that film, and people will often tell me that it's on their list of 10 favorites. So I think it is a film that really affects people in a profound way. You know, I've had in my lifetime the opportunity and the great pleasure of being in a few really great films. And I must say that Requiem for a Dream is right up there. It is a truly great film. I'm very proud of it.